There are new hearings today into the deadly 2012 attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. But there's a major rift brewing between House Select Committee members overseeing the investigation. Democrats accuse the committee chairman, South Carolina Republican Trey Gowdy, of excluding them from meetings with witnesses. Congressman Gowdy says sources are not required to meet with both sides at the same time, and Democrats are free to conduct their own private meetings if they'd like. Joining us now, Jonah Goldberg, senior editor of National Review. A.B. Stoddard is also with us, associate editor and columnist at The Hill. We have long heard, Republicans have suspected that the Obama administration was trying to stonewall this investigation. Now there is a report that 15,000 new pages of documents have suddenly turned up, A.B. Does that justify Republican complaints?
Well, Republicans have waited a long time for this information, and Chairman Gowdy pointed out at the start of the hearing that the reason the Select Committee exists, even though a House Intelligence Committee report this fall concluded there had been no malfeasance, no security failures, no attempt by the administration to cover up, etc. He's saying that because we're seeing not only fewer redactions to a whole separate basket of documents, 25,000, plus this brand new submission of 15,000 never seen before documents to the Congress, that this is evidence the Select Committee needs to exist, because no standing committee has ever been given all the information since this event in September of 2012. The problem is, for Republicans, is a political one. As they fight with Democrats over how to conduct this investigation, they have to make sure that they answer to the pressure from the conservative base to continue to pursue this no matter what, even if it drags on another year into the presidential season, and to hammer Hillary Clinton over it, the former Secretary of State. At the same time, they really don't want this to become a political circus that the public will sour on before an election.
Is this potentially candidate Hillary Clinton's worst nightmare, Jonah, if in fact she is running for president?
Well, we don't know for sure because we don't know what's in a lot of these documents. To be sure that Hillary Clinton does not want Benghazi talked about very much anymore. And that's one of the main reasons why there's been this concerted Democratic effort for a very long time to mock anybody who takes any interest in the Benghazi story. Any further effort to find out exactly what happened is always seen as sort of nutty, or portrayed as nutty and conspiratorial. And that's why I think what Elijah Cummings is largely about in his barrage of letters to Trey Gowdy is he is trying to sort of work the refs in advance and cast Gowdy and the committee as a partisan hack. This is all a partisan witch hunt and all of the rest. So as to, anticipate and downplay anything that the committee might actually find. It's an old game, and it might work given all the Benghazi fatigue out there. But if you have to choose who's the hack in this picture, Elijah Cummings or Trey Gowdy, I'm going to say, it's probably Elijah Cummings.
A.B., you point out that the House Intel Committee came out with that report, I think in November, that said, no malfeasance, no blown coverage by the CIA that this attack, could not have been anticipated and so forth. But if they've got these 15,000 new documents that nobody has seen before or have not been released before, was that a premature conclusion?
Well, the leadership thought it was, even though that was a Republican, committee coming out of the majority in the House, which was Republican in the last Congress, as you know, concluded that it was not adequate investigation and that further investigation was needed, and that's why the Select Committee was created. The interesting thing about the tussle that's going on right now is that the majority is meeting with witnesses and leaving the Democrats out, which the chairman is admitting is allowed in the rules. I think the Democrats need to start meeting with the witnesses as well and asking their own questions. But I will give them credit for keeping this fight, in private for 2 months. They've been complaining to him since November, and they only just 2 months later made their letters public. As I said, Gowdy is in a position where he needs to pursue this. There is information the Congress has never seen before. There is stuff that we don't know, obviously, about what happened the night of the attack. The administration has never been able able to answer certain questions about that. However, this is a political risk, and the leadership has always known that. And that's why he's tried to create a situation where he started in this committee in the fall on a very measured and prudent tone, being friends with Democrats and starting off on a practical note. They don't want this to become politically poisonous, as I said, as it gets closer to an election where Democrats can say all the Republicans ever do in Congress is investigate things and they don't pass any bills.
And Chairman Gowdy says that he has bent over backwards to be fair to Democrats on this committee. Is that true?
By all accounts, it is. I mean, obviously, if the Democrats in the committee are under marching orders to politicize this and make it seem like a partisan affair, they will find something there that they can do that with. But Gowdy has given the minority members of the staff, lots of time. He has given them privileges that they don't normally have. As AB points out, select committees have always worked by this arrangement, and what the Democrats are trying to do is make it sound as like this is somehow a deviation from the rules of fairness when this is the standard operating procedure for all of these things. I would like to add one thing, is that House Intelligence Committee report was, by a lot of people's lights, deeply, deeply flawed, and was sort of set up originally to put the Benghazi thing to bed and not have the Republicans deal with it anymore. I highly recommend Steve Hayes' cover story from the Weekly Standard from a few months ago, that after that report came out, that really sort of poked a lot of holes in it.
Yeah, we should grab that, put that up on our website for folks who want to read it again on our Happening Now show page. Jonah Goldberg, A.B. Stoddard, thank you both.